what does future Jamal look like? You gotta ask yourself the same thing, whoever you are. Ahmed, Abdullah, John, Jeffrey, Wander, Julio, Kamal, wherever your name is. I can't think of other names. I try to think of different people's names that I know, or that people, other than what I do know, I mean. So, this is what I'm going to write in front of you right now. What does future me look like? What do I want myself to look like in the future? So, we're going to get to start. One thing instantly that I really want to put in here. So, we'll put a little, what is this, like, I don't know what this is called, like a hyphen, something like that. Future Jamal. And we're going to put here future Jamal or Jamal dot and that's going to go for each one. Future Jamal doesn't overreact or react instantly in hard times. He takes a deep breath and takes the best course of action and takes the best course of action. Right? Boom. Perfect. So, to keep this short, that's the only one I want to write long, I think. Yeah. So it doesn't overreact or react instantly in hard times. He takes a deep breath and takes the best course of action. So he doesn't, I'll put it in brackets, doesn't act on emotion. Act on emotion. Right? That's a good one. Right? Because mainly, I don't just want to hear something, because usually when people act out of character, it's because they hear something, not when they physically feel something, right? Unless you're in the gym. But mainly, it's in your brain. It's in your head. When someone comes to you with a certain attitude, someone yells at you, someone brings you good news, someone brings you bad news, you are or even through experiences, right? Like, you hear somebody doing something, you see somebody doing something, good, bad, in both areas, or you are physically doing something. You know, you got 10K a month now. How are you reacting, right? Are you, oh my God, it's going crazy, and you start splurging, or do you take a deep breath, you thank God, and then you're like, okay, what can I do now? What's the next step, right? So, not reacting on emotion and just taking the best course of action. So that's going to be the first one. The second one, right, isn't afraid of embarrassment. Now, why do I put that one? So future Jamal isn't afraid of embarrassment. I think a lot of times when recording a video, I kind of put my phone low rather than up here, right? Because you obviously feel some type of judgment. And I just watched this recently. When you judge other people for what they're doing, you end up judging yourself when it comes to you doing it. The video was basically talking about how this one guy who knew Logan Paul, and when he was doing his Vines at the time, and they were both in college, everyone did look at him like, oh, look at this douche, look at all this kind of stuff, yada, yada, yada. But this guy was making millions at the time, right? Or making a lot of money, like started doing YouTube, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people judged him for that because he did something that was out of the normal, right? This guy also ended up making his own business and whatever it is, and made his millions. But he ended up learning that when it came time for him to make videos and content, then the judgment he placed on somebody, he put it on himself, right? So whatever he looked at somebody and judged him and thought like, why is he doing it? That's embarrassing, is because he would feel embarrassed doing it. So I don't want to be afraid of embarrassment through myself or through even through others, right? But I don't want to be afraid in general to take the next step, to try, to fail. I don't want to have that fear, right? Of failing, because failing, I think, is also an embarrassment. Like, you don't want to, like, for the people who are not Muslim, who are gonna go find a girlfriend and they talk to them and they bring them home, and their dad says, oh, here's another one. It's like kind of what Alex Hormozi said, like, you're right, you're wrong 100% of the time until the time you're not, right? So it's just like, it's okay to keep trying. And that analogy is simply as like a father kept telling his son, like, oh, here's another one, this is not gonna last, it's not gonna last. And they're right every time. But if you keep getting embarrassed, you're not gonna try, you're not gonna feel anything, right? So not caring what anyone says and just doing it, right? With the brand, with these videos, with writing, with talking to people, putting my foot forward, having certain conversations. Don't want to have it. All right, next thing, so we're not here for too long. So Future Jamal doesn't react off emotion, takes a deep breath. Future Jamal isn't afraid of embarrassment. Future Jamal takes calculated risks and big risks. And calculated, what I mean by that is, you know, I don't just do something to just do it. I don't just jump to the next thing. I assess what I'm gonna do, and then I take that risk accordingly, right? Like, it's better for me to try this, right? So that kind of thing. Future Jamal also is totally okay with doing boring work, no matter what, for multiple hours at a time. Now, why do I say that? A lot of times, this is the best way I can put it. For you, it's going to be different. Everyone else is going to be different. You might like creating 1, 2, 3 designs, and it's amazing. But try creating that 100 times in a day. It's going to be so annoying, right? It's going to get boring after a while. But be able to keep doing that. Sending out 100 messages a day. It's so boring. But be able to do that. To cold call every day. Being able to do that. To go out and meet 100 people every day. It's scary. It's nerve-wracking. But after a while, just like, oh my God, this is boring. Whatever it is that it is for you, that like the work you need to get done, but that's very boring and it's not the glam, to continuously do that, right? Like, this is what future me does, and this is what I'm gonna get to, right? Now, future me is able to say no if it helps him reach his goals, even if it's I'm trying to find the right word. I want to say something along the lines that, like, even if it's on the expense of someone else. Now, that sounds pretty harsh. I wrote else wrong. What I mean by that is, I'm able to say no to parties. I'm able to say no to going out. I'm able to say no to taking a bite of this cookie if I have macros that I want to do. I'm able to say no to doing something that I don't want to do, right? And being okay with it, not worrying about if it hurts somebody. Like, if I want to go with my friend, and I don't mean it like, you know, someone genuinely needs my help and I just say no because that's something else. You know, maybe help them, right? But for the most part, it's usually in the very things that just take my time most of the time. And even tell myself no, right? I want to actually, I think I probably get the gist of that, but being able to just say no to certain things, right? I think this is pretty good right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Let's do one more. Let's do 6 things. What would be another thing that I'm like, dang, Jamal is, he's really at it. I don't know if this is gonna be on topic with what I already wrote or if it's very similar, but it's totally okay with doing boring work no matter what for multiple hours at a time. I also want to add, maybe to piggyback that is to, I don't know if this, I actually write this. Okay. Future Jamal doesn't care about what's going on. It will always be disciplined in his work, health, mind, and spirit. Spirit, religion, basically, right? No, I think those are my 6 things. Now I have a clear goal of who Jamal is. Each one of these I can break down 3 tasks, right? So future Jamal doesn't overreact or instantly in hard times. We'll do quick 3 things, right? 3 things, right? So in order to do that, I have to take a deep breath in anything hard, right? Second thing is think about what I will say or do and if it makes sense, right? Another one, 3rd thing, right? So I don't want to overreact, doesn't act on emotion. I think those are, I don't think I need the 3rd one, right? I think that's pretty good. Isn't afraid of embarrassment. Okay. Let's just write 2. Not worried about what others do. Don't judge, right? Because whatever I'm judging, obviously I can have my own judgment on somebody, but not scold them, because whatever I'm scolding them for, I might be feeling that way, right? So isn't afraid of embarrassment. So to take action on that is when I am afraid or hesitant, means I have to do it. Perfect. Okay. Takes calculated risks and big risks. Right. I'll do 1, 2. Every time a pivot arises or arrives, look at it and see if it really makes sense. Second one would be keep trying multiple things. As many times as possible for as little as possible. All right. And this is just kind of life hack I got from the CEO of Netflix. It's totally okay with doing boring work no matter what for multiple hours at a time. So this is just as simple as, this is where I think it ties into discipline. So I'll put discipline and that in one, so I'll just separate that. Is able to say no. Actually, I'll do those two first and then able to say no, right? Or actually, I'll do able to say no and put that together. Okay. Is able to say no if it helps him reach his goals. Okay. Not worried about others' wants and focused on my own. I think that's really, so that's that. And then in brackets, say no for me, right? And then for the discipline and the boring work, right? No matter how I feel, get it done for my overall goals, because that is what will take me there. Take me to my destination. Perfect. I have wrote a clear path of what my future self looks like, what does he do, and then how does he do it, right? You know the answers. I know the answers to this. I don't do all this, but I know what it is to do, and writing it is the key, right? I'm gonna make a second video of this, but just shorter. But I wanted you to be in this process with me, because we know what someone who has charisma does. We might not know the little things, but if you take it and just break it down like I just did, it's perfect. Like, take calculated risks. What does that look like? You know how to calculate in your brain numbers, or how to calculate a situation. You've done it before. Like, when you react, you know how to do it. So here it's as simple as every time a pivot arrives or something new, basically, look at it and see if it makes sense, right? And if it doesn't make sense, then screw it, right? And then to understand if it makes sense, keep trying multiple things as many times as possible for as little as possible or at low cost. That is just as simple as taking calculated risks, right? For the last one, we'll do the isn't afraid of embarrassment. I'm not worried about what others do, so I'm not judging them. They can do whatever the hell they want to do, whether they're really good or really bad at it. Let them do it and just appreciate their trying, because that's also what I'm going to do, so that when I'm afraid or hesitant, means I have to do it, because that's going to get me to where I want to go, right? So write down at least 6 things for you and just break them down. It's as simple as that. And do that for you, because if you don't do it, no one else will. Thank you.